Hi, in this session we discuss about the radical extension and the relationship between Galois extension and radical extension. So let us see the definition of radical extension. A field extension K over F is a simple radical extension if K is equal to F of alpha with alpha raised to n belongs to F for some positive integer n. This can also be said in different ways. Can be said that K is equal to F of some nth root of A where A belongs to F. So this definition is for K with K is an infinite field or characteristic of K is equal to 0. So what will happen if characteristic of F is equal to P, which is greater than or equal to 0, which is greater than 0. So a finite extension K over F, where F is a finite field, is called a simple radical extension. K is equal to F of alpha with alpha raised to n belongs to F, and the n is relatively prime to P. That means P does not divide n. So for example, if you take alpha is the nth root of unity, that means alpha raised to n is equal to 1, then F alpha over F is a simple radical extension, where F is equal to Q, because alpha raised to n is equal to 1, which is in F. So now we define what is a radical extension. An extension K over F is a radical extension if we can get a tower of extensions with each intermediate field is actually a simple radical extension. In other words, we can say that the K over F is a radical extension if we can get a tower of fields begin with F, which is equal to F naught, which is which contained in F1, etc. and so on, and end at Fr is equal to K, such that each Fi is simple radical extension of Fi minus 1. That means F1 is a simple radical extension of F0, F2 is a simple radical extension over F1, and so on. In other words, we can say that K over F is a radical extension if there is some elements alpha 1 etc. alpha r belongs to K, and n1, n2 etc. nr are some positive integers, such that K is generated by alpha 1 etc. alpha r over F, with the condition that alpha 1 raised to n1 is in F, alpha I raised to ni belongs to F of alpha 1 etc. alpha I minus 1 for each I in between 1 and r. That means that you will get a tower of extensions F0, F1, F2, etc., Fr minus 1 and Fr. Begin with F and then F of alpha 1, etc., F of alpha 1, etc., alpha r minus 1, and Fr is F of alpha 1, etc., alpha r. So because you can see that alpha 1 raised to n1 is in F, F1 over F is a simple radical extension because alpha 1 raised to some power is in base field F. Similarly, alpha 2 raised to n2 belongs to F of alpha 1. So F of alpha 1 alpha 2 over F of alpha 1 is a simple radical extension, and so on. And alpha r, the power of alpha r with some integer, which is it belongs to Fr minus 1. Therefore, Fr over Fr minus 1 is also a simple radical extension. So you can think of a radical extension as an extension which is generated by finite number of elements with alpha 1 etc. alpha r, with alpha 1 raised to alpha in1 is belongs to F for some integer, positive integer n1, and alpha I raised to ni belongs to F of alpha 1 etc. alpha I minus 1 for each r in between 1 and r. So for example, Q fourth root of 2 over Q is a simple radical extension because you can see that fourth root of 2 raised to 4 is 2, and which is in Q. This also we can represent it like a radical extension, because q contained in q root 2 contained in q fourth root of 2. Because you know that fourth root of 2 square is root 2 and root 2 square is 2. So fourth root of 2 square is belongs to q root 2 and root 2 square is belongs to q. So it is a, we can express this one also as a radical extension. Also q root 2 cube root of 5 is a radical extension of q, because we have a tower of extensions q contained in q root 2 contained in q root 2 cube root of 5. And cube root of 5 cube is equal to 5 and that is belongs to q root 2, and root 2 square is equal to 2, that is in q. Therefore q root 2 cube root of 5 over q is actually a radical extension. Now how do we connect this radical extension and a solvable group? So we come with one result. It's a state that if K is the splitting field of h raised to n minus a over f, where a is in f and f is a field with a characteristic 0, then we can show that K over f is a Galois extension and the Galois group is actually a solvable group. So in this particular situation, we are getting that K over f is a Galois extension and K over f is the Galois group of K over f is a solvable group. If K is the splitting field of h raised to n minus a over f. That means h raised to n minus a is a polynomial in fx. So let us see the proof of this theorem. Suppose first that f contains all the primitive nth root of unity, and consider the polynomial h raised to n minus a where a is in f. So now we show that this h raised to n minus a is a separable polynomial. How do we do it? We find the derivative of this. What is the derivative of this one? N h raised to n minus 1. And you know that the characteristic of f is 0, so n h raised to n minus 1 is 0 only for h is equal to 0. That means 0 is the only root of n h raised to n minus 1. But 0 is not a root of h raised to n minus a. That means that the GCD of h raised to n minus a and its derivative is 1, coprime. That means, therefore, we know that h raised to n minus a is a separable polynomial. So what are the roots of this polynomial, h raised to n minus a? Because we want to find the splitting field of this polynomial. What are the roots? If alpha is nth root of a and omega is the nth primitive nth root of unity, then alpha, omega square alpha, etc., omega raised to n minus alpha are the roots of h raised to n minus a. So therefore the splitting field of h raised to n minus a is the field generated by the roots of h raised to n minus a. That means over f. That means k is equal to f of alpha, omega alpha, etc. And you know that omega is belongs to f, that is our assumption. All the primitive nth root of unity belongs to f. So omega is also belongs to f. Therefore k will be f of alpha. Therefore k is the splitting field of the separable polynomial h raised to n minus a. That means that according to the characterization of Galois extension, we get k over f is a Galois extension. So if you take any automorphism, sigma is in Galois group of k over f, then sigma is determined by the image of the generator alpha. That means image of alpha. Now what are the possible images of alpha under sigma? Which is same as the root of the minimal polynomial of alpha. So it will be one of the root of h raised to n minus a. But the roots of h raised to n minus a are omega raised to I alpha. It is of the form omega raised to I alpha, where I is in between 1 and n minus 1. Therefore, if I take sigma and tau belongs to the Galois group of K or F, then sigma of alpha will be omega raised to I alpha for some I, and tau of alpha is omega raised to j into alpha for some j. Then tau sigma of alpha is same as tau of sigma of alpha, but sigma of alpha is what? Omega raised to alpha. But tau is a multiplicative homomorphism because it's a ring homomorphism. Therefore, tau of omega raised to I alpha is same as tau of omega raised to I into tau of omega. But omega raised to I is in F. And we know that tau fixes the elements of F. Therefore, tau of omega raised to I is same as omega raised to I. So, which is same as omega raised to I into tau alpha, which is same as omega raised to I plus j alpha. Similarly, we can show that sigma tau of alpha is same as omega raised to I plus j alpha. That means that tau sigma and sigma tau are same. That means any two elements in Galois group of K or F commute. That means that a Galois group of K or F is abelian. But we know that any abelian group is solvable. Therefore, Galois group of K or F is solvable, provided F contains all primitive nth root of unity. So in the second case, we assume that F does not contain a primitive nth root of unity. So let omega be primitive nth root of unity and alpha is same as nth root of A. So omega is not belongs to F. So because alpha is the root of h raised to n minus A and omega is primitive nth root of unity, omega alpha is also root of h raised to n minus A. But K is a splitting field of h raised to n minus A. So therefore K contains both omega alpha and alpha. Therefore K contains omega alpha upon alpha, which is same as omega. That means omega is in K. So you can consider a subfield of K containing F which is generated by omega. That means like if F dash is equal to F omega, then F dash is a subfield of K containing F. And clearly omega is primitive nth root of unity, and F omega will be the splitting field of the separable polynomial h raised to n minus 1. Therefore, F dash over F is a Galois extension. So, any automorphism in Galois group of F dash over F is determined by the image of omega. But the images of omega is the root of the minimal polynomial of omega, which is some power of omega. So therefore, if I take omega, sigma belongs to Galois group of F dash over F, then sigma of omega will be omega raised to I for some I. So also if I take mu belongs to Galois group of F dash over F, mu of omega is also omega raised to j for some j. Therefore, mu sigma of omega is same as mu of sigma of omega is same as mu of omega raised to I, but mu is multiplicative homomorphism, so it is written as mu of omega the whole raised to I, but mu of omega is omega raised to j, so you will get omega raised to ij. Similarly, we can show that a sigma mu of omega is omega raised to ij. Therefore, sigma mu is equal to mu sigma for any mu and sigma belongs to Galois group of F dash over F. That means that the Galois group of F dash over F is abelian. Now, because F dash is generated by the primitive nth root of unity, so F dash contains all nth root of unity. So it contains all primitive nth root of unity. So therefore, by the first case, Galois group of K or F dash is a Galois extension and a Galois group of K or F dash is abelian. Therefore, because we have seen that F dash over F is a Galois extension, the Galois group corresponds to F dash over F is the quotient group Galois group of K over F mod Galois group of K over F dash by the fundamental theorem of Galois theory. So, because Galois group of F dash over F is abelian, the quotient group, this is also abelian. Therefore, we have a subnormal series, one contained in Galois group of K or F dash, contained in Galois group of K or F, and the corresponding quotient group is actually abelian. Therefore, the Galois group of K or F is solvable. So, in both the cases, whether F contains primitive nth root of unity or it does not contain primitive nth root of unity, we prove that Galois group of K or F is solvable, where K is the splitting field of h raised to n minus a, where a belongs to F. Now we'll see the relationship between the radical extension and the Galois extension. So, if F is a field of characteristic 0 and E or F is a radical extension, then you can always find a Galois extension. In fact, Galois radical extension K of F that contains E. That means E is the subfield of K containing F, and K or F is a Galois extension as well as radical extension. So let us see the proof of it. It is given that F is of characteristic 0 and E or F is a radical extension. So because E or F is a radical extension, by definition you can find some alpha 1 etc. alpha r belongs to E and some positive integers n1, n2 etc. nr such that E is generated by alpha 1 etc. alpha r over F, with alpha 1, some power of alpha 1 belongs to F and some power of alpha I it belongs to F of alpha 1 etc. alpha I minus 1. So E is generated by alpha 1 etc. alpha r. So let Fi of x be the minimal polynomial of alpha I over F. So that means f1 of x is the minimal polynomial of alpha 1 etc. Fr of x is the minimal polynomial of alpha r. So let us take fh, the polynomial fh is obtained from the product f1h, f2h etc. fr of x after removing the repeater root, so that fh is become a separable polynomial. So that means fh is the product of f1h, f2h etc. fr of x after removing the repeater factors, then f of x is a separable polynomial over f. So if k is the splitting field of fh over f, then k is the splitting field of a separable polynomial over f. Therefore automatically k over f is a Galois extension by the characterization of Galois extension. So we got k over f is a Galois extension which contains E. In fact, k is equal to E. We now show that k over f is, we found k such that the E is the subfield of k containing f. So we got a k over f Galois extension. We now show that a k over f is a radical extension. So you note that any root of fx is of the form sigma of alpha I for some I and some automorphism, because if you take any sigma belongs to Galois group of k or f and alpha I is a root of f of h, then alpha I will be a root of some fi of h. So the image of sigma, image of alpha I under sigma is a root of the minimal polynomial of alpha I. That means some root of fi. That means sigma of alpha I will be some root of fi, which is a root of f of x. Therefore, any root of f of x is of the form sigma of alpha I for some I, integer I, and some automorphism sigma belongs to k or Galois group of k or f. Therefore, for any sigma belongs to Galois group of k or f, we have sigma of alpha 1 raised to n1 will be what? Sigma of alpha 1 raised to n1, because the sigma of alpha 1 into sigma of alpha 1 into etc. in n1 times, which is same as, because sigma is a multiplicative homomorphism, so you will get a sigma of alpha 1 raised to n1. But we know that alpha 1 raised to n1 belongs to f, and a sigma fixes elements of f. Therefore, sigma of alpha 1 raised to n1 is sigma 1 alpha 1 raised to n1, and that is enough. And sigma of alpha I raised to ni belongs to f of sigma of alpha 1, sigma of alpha I minus 1, because alpha I raised to n1 is belongs to f of alpha 1 etc. alpha I minus 1. Therefore, sigma alpha I raised to n1 belongs to f of sigma alpha 1 etc. sigma alpha I minus 1, for I is varying from 2 to r. Therefore, if Galois group of K or F is equal to sigma 1, which is same as identity, sigma 2 etc. sigma K, they are the elements of the Galois group of K or F, then K is equal to, if we take sigma I of alpha j for all possible cases, I is varying in between 1 and K, because sigma is from varies from 1 to K and J is varying from 1 to R. So if K is generated by sigma 1 of alpha 1, sigma 1 of alpha 2 etc. sigma 1 of alpha r, sigma 2 of alpha 1, sigma 2 of alpha 2 etc. sigma 2 of alpha r, and so on, then we can show that, then it is easily seen that K over F is a radical extension because of this property. So we have seen that if E over F is a radical extension, we can find a Galois extension K over F such that E is a subfield of K containing F and K over F is also a radical extension. So for any radical extension, we can find a Galois radical extension which contains it. That's the end of the proof. So in the next session, we discuss about more on solvability by radicals. In fact, we are going to discuss about the solvability of a polynomial by radical. Thank you.